appreciate that. Okay, it is 10 o'clock, so we will go ahead and get started. So I'm going to vanish our panel here. So if anybody drops out, if you have a question, for example, since I am going to go ahead and remove the panel that you see at the bottom of the screen, or at the very least that we see at the bottom of the screen, if you have any questions, either wait for Brittany to cue you for questions, or if there is a moment of silence and you would like to take that opportunity, use your microphone. All right, I'll go ahead and hide our controls here. Cool. All right, and you are all set. And I'm gonna also put this microphone in case you guys want to say anything. Right here. And I'll tilt it away from you. It will not catch your eating sack. Oh, I love that one.
I mean, I do have cues for people to talk about. I don't care if you use the mic or not, I swear, but I do have stuff like just, this is a fairly chill thing. This is really a chance for you all to also like process and talk about the things that are hard. Because I know, like, I work at Marshall, so I know working in education right now is not always the easiest for various reasons. Yeah. So that's really kind of what this is. It is not like a super formal thing. I have some fun, hopeful stuff for us to like play with a little bit and for you guys to like practice a little bit because I am a licensed clinical psychologist. So I do feel like I have to do that plugged as well. So I know a couple of you I already introduced myself to, and some of you have known me for a very long time. And in this case,
25 years.
Just a bit. Nice. Has it been that long? Jesus.
Yes.
We're getting old. I'm Brittany. I'm a professor over at Marshall. I am in the psychology department over there. I'm an assistant professor. I am also director of our psychology training clinic over there. So if people ever need that resource, be that for your students or yourselves, I'm happy to share information about that. I am also director of community-based learning over in Center for Teaching and Learning, which is kind of what led me to do this. Because Morgan kindly reached out to our CTL to ask what we did for wellness. And Dr. Fugit, who is the executive director over there, and I have been doing these wellness sessions of various form for a couple years now. So this is really kind of just, like I said, a chance for you all to talk a little bit about the fact that it can be stressful right now, be that heavy workloads. I know folks right now, I've heard from my humans on my campus who are teaching way outside of their hours. I see head nods. I see laughter. I see you, friend. So you're teaching outside of your workload. You are maybe also balancing having a lot of admin tasks on top of student tasks. You are navigating, our students also are going through a lot. And so they have big feels and they have big emotions. And they sometimes come to you all with those emotions. Again, I see folks going, yep, pretty heavily. They come to you, they trust you. They know that you're a person that they can come to. And so you are dealing with their mental health needs. And I'd imagine feeling like you are always on the clock. So even driving up here, I noticed myself checking my email and making sure that I didn't have a student freaking out. I know I have been on a date and gotten a text from a student being like, I don't understand this research thing. They reach out to us. And because of tech, because everything is on our phone, I know I have all my work stuff loaded to my phone. It feels really hard to just turn it off sometimes. Not to mention budget and politic issues that are a thing. Not to get overly political, not to go into any of that, but they're a thing right now. Like they have impact on us, whatever our political beliefs are. Current politics have impact on higher ed. Be that your budgets, be that grants, be that whatever things. So I kind of want to check in with you guys first and just ask you a little bit about how you're feeling. So I have a cup up here. I know this is a metaphor that a lot of folks like to use of how full is your cup right now? So are you feeling like it's bone dry and you have nothing to give? Is it maybe kind of half full and you're making it? Yeah. You feel like at a good 10, you got things handled? Or is it maybe overflowing and you're feeling overwhelmed? So where are we at, friends? I have a poll, but I'm going to ignore the poll and rather just talk to you guys since it's a smaller group.
Somewhere nicely in the middle, I'd say. It's probably a combination of I've got a lot of stuff going on, and it's also definitely kind of draining. But it's not so empty that I don't have anything to work with.
So you're floating down here on it.
Yeah, thereabouts.
It's not a bad spot.
I'm still here and I'm still kicking, so it's enough for me.
We
right
appreciate
now.
that. I'm happy to hear that.
I do too, for sure.
How about other folks? How are we feeling?
I'm also inclined to agree with Zach as well. I just transitioned to a new job like about 6 months ago, so my stress level was kind of like gone way down.
Yep.
But at the same time, I'm still trying to learn the ropes and make sure that I don't lose like students' like perspectives as well. But I'm kind of like at a solid middle right now.
Very cool. So we got some middle humans. What about other folks? Or people maybe feeling either kind of towards the bottom or towards the top?
They use like younger generation.
All right, I'm
I like it. I mean, I appreciate it. This stuff has impact, right? Like you said, job transitions, trying to find the balance of all the things. So even if you're feeling like you're in this direction, I still hear you guys saying, I'm stressed.
Yeah, well,
Even if we feel like our cup is maybe okay, there's still some stress going on. Which leads us to kind of talk about this. And I think self-care kind of gets a negative rap sometimes because it's this idea of we don't have time for it or I can't make time for it. And it has lots of different domains and areas. So it can be physical, so getting rest, eating the donuts, eating other things, not just donuts sometimes, engaging in movement, taking care of your health when you need to, setting boundaries. Are we good at that, friends?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, as soon as I started the word boundaries, I saw Emma cringe on me.
To make some boundaries
Yeah.
due to past experiences that you know about, but
I do.
but I feel like I do an okay job based on some bad experiences in the past, but I do better at because of that.
That is fair.
Yeah, there's definitely some active work at making sure that boundaries exist, especially in like a smaller, more rural college with students that have a lot of needs. So, it's trying to see like, okay, how much can I help without, my cup going like up to a 13?
100%. And I think that's a really good point of, especially with the location of this school and the student population you guys have. It can be challenging to set those boundaries and not in a negative way against students. They don't always understand what those boundaries are supposed to be.
Right.
And it's also giving yourself permission to feel the feels. So when you are upset about something, allowing that to be there. And engaging in stress management, which I know I'm not always good at. Again, I see faces. I feel you. I have some relaxation techniques for you guys later. A thing that I think is really difficult too is reducing that mental clutter because we have so many things and we wear so many roles, be that in our jobs or mixing jobs and personal life, all the things. You have a lot going on in your head. Allowing ourselves to have breaks or engaging in strategies that work for us. Relying on our social supports. Having those meaningful connections. Dealing with conflicts as you need. Doing things that matter to you. But again, we don't always engage in self-care. It's this idea that engaging in it is going to be selfish. Again, I see faces, friends.
We'll call it out.
I know, this is why I include this slide. Rest must be earned. If I cared enough, I'd just push through. I don't have time.
Yes.
And I've said these things.
Yeah.
Like,
Correct.
I've done that. I feel like I've definitely done that. I've also been the human that sits at my computer at lunch.
Yes.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah. I don't know her.
Who
was lunch?
Not familiar with lunch breaks.
No.
Nope. Or on, what was it? On Wednesday, I had to move all my Monday stuff to Wednesday because my department on Marshall, we had to do doctoral interviews for our program. So I had no breaks Monday. I was on campus Monday until almost 8 o'clock at night because we also had a missions meeting after the interviews. Yes, that was my face. and my internet dropped during the middle of that meeting. I was just a pissy human on Monday. I'll own it. Wednesday, I had no breaks though because I pushed everything from Monday to Wednesday, except for I had like 3 30-minute blocks. And I was so hopeful I would get to go get Starbucks during one of those 3 30-minute blocks. And then I had a student in my office during all of those 3 30-minute blocks. I didn't get to earn any of the things in my head. So again, it's that idea that we engage in these myths, we feel these things, and these are not the only ones. So what do we tell ourselves about self-care? What things do we tell ourselves? I have a couple examples of we shouldn't do it until we get things done, or we got to earn it. But I heard you all say you feel called out.
Yeah.
So what is your feels about self-care? What do you do? Or what do you tell yourself?
It's nice to do every once in a while.
Every once in a while.
I'll get to it.
That's like,
I'll get to it.
To it.
I just need to get through enough stuff so I
Yeah.
can actually like take an adequate break so it doesn't interfere with other stuff.
Yep.
And, you know, whatever. And then it just kind of doesn't always happen.
Yeah.
I tell myself I'm lazy. If
Mhm.
I do it. Yeah, like I'm a lazy bad person and I
100%.
don't care enough and I just want a way out of work.
Yep. I know I've definitely like on a Saturday morning been like, I'm being lazy today.
Yes, yes, yes. Me.
But it's these things, right? What do they do for us?
Make it worse.
They do. Thank you, friends. They do. That makes it worse, right? Because then it becomes this like big thing that we feel like we don't get to do or that we're not allowed to do. What happens though when we don't do self-care?
It gets worse.
You don't get careful.
I become evil.
I'm evil. Burnout. Burnout is real, friends. 100%. My friend and I, she's doing a very similar session for somebody at Marshall. We were talking and problem solving this yesterday and created a burnout bingo card.
Ooh.
That'll be featured in a future session for you guys. But it's this idea of we do all these things and then we feel very burnt out. Our cup keeps getting filled up with all these events, with all these things, with all these students. And then we tell ourselves, I don't have time for it. It gets to be a lot. And so our bingo cards don't get filled up, right? Like, how often do we engage in these things? Those are good sounds. So drinking the full glass of water was a great
I'm
one.
bad at that. I need to do better.
As I've had 3 cups of coffee and I now grab
Yeah.
more coffee.
It's flavored water.
It is flavored water. Water runs through the bean juice. We're fine. I'm taking a 10-minute walk. I will own this is the one self-care I'm really good at. And that's because I have friends in other departments on campus. And Marshall is not condensed.
Yeah.
So I'm walking back and forth a lot. For folks who know Marshall, because I know a couple of you do, I live in Harris Hall. I make myself park down at Smith Hall so that I can walk. I also have friends in Old Main and Morrow, so sometimes I stop and talk to them. Stretching for a few minutes. I think this one, though, the saying no to something. We don't do that very often.
Then they'll hate me.
Yeah.
And they'll hate me. I was in a meeting the other day and I watched one of my friends who I adore with all of my heart, but he was also a baby professor. And I'm not judging him. We came in together. I just worked at the med school for many more years before him. We were talking about it is the 25th anniversary of our doc program next year. They want to do a big event for it. And everybody went, not me on planning because they had previously planned them. And I see the director of the program look at me and my friend and just say, somebody else is going to have to do it. And my friend immediately went, okay, I do this now. And I'm like, nope. So learning to say no, especially when you are newer at a job or transitioning into different roles, it gets really difficult. Cleaning, for some folks, that really is self-care. It can help with the space. It can make you feel better. For some folks, it is not. So I want to make sure I highlight that just because one thing might look like self-care for you doesn't mean it's going to for everybody, and that's okay. Sending a kind message to somebody, or like you said, I really appreciated Emma earlier saying, for me, for self-care, it'll be moving up and talking to somebody. So sending something kind, being kind, taking deep breaths. We're going to practice that in a little bit. So I do have some progressive muscle relaxation for folks who know what that is, as well as some mindful breathing that we'll just kind of practice and play with. Again, you don't have to be good at it. Nobody is good at it the first time. And I will own, I personally suck at mindfulness. I can't shut my brain off enough for it. I have some ADHD traits. It's okay, friends. Logging off social media for a bit. I know a lot of people have been talking about social media detoxes over the last couple of years. That can be both a helpful thing and a hard thing, depending. Practicing gratitude, eating a nourishing meal, finding the time to do that. That is not always easy. Cooking takes effort. As folks look down at that, that's valid. Picked up Thai the other night because I just couldn't make myself cook. It happens.
That's a good pickup, though. Seriously.
Highly recommend the one up at Merritt's Creek. Thai fusion is lovely. The humans who own it are lovely.
It's hard when you work at night, when you have night classes.
Yep.
Then I'm like, I don't care what I eat when I get home.
100%. I agree with that.
Gotta be a food monster.
I mean,
Get the food.
the random food I eat sometimes after I've taught until like 7:30.
You know, girl dinner is real sometimes.
Yeah.
It just is. It just is.
Bowl of cereal, absolutely.
Oh,
At like
yep.
8:30, yeah,
Oh yeah, that's happened.
that hits.
100%. The rested without guilt. I hear the guilt in the room.
Oh, it's very
I was gonna
difficult.
say, I've learned, but again, due to personal circumstances of having long COVID and being like, guess what? Your body needs rest. So
Mhm.
don't feel bad about it. And but that also took time.
It
from
does.
When we were really fatigued to way less fatigued now. But like
100%. And I think that's a really good point to make with a lot of this stuff is some of this stuff does take time to get in the habit of it. And I was joking earlier, I suck with mindfulness. And I mean that genuinely for me personally, but for a lot of folks, self-care and relaxation techniques, it takes practice, almost like playing a sport. You have to practice the thing to get better at it. Any new skill is that way. Stepping outside for fresh air, that's been a little challenging in the 2-degree weather, but I encourage it as we warm up. Celebrating the small wins. I really want to highlight that one because I don't think we do that very often. Getting the thing that is good, even if it is little. Taking the time to celebrate it and own it. Smiling at yourself in the mirror. I know that looks and sounds cheesy, but it is helpful. Body scan can be really helpful for anxiety purposes. So if you're somebody who kind of carries the anxiety in your chest or get headaches or in your stomach, all of those things, and checking in with your body. Asking for help. You have colleagues. We're not always good at that, but going to your colleagues, going to your friends. Checking in with your feelings, listening to music, reading something. I'll also do a plug. I recently bought a PS5. Play a game. Found some mindful games. It's okay. I like just to randomly roam in Red Dead right now. It's fine. Taking a pause, setting that boundary, going back to a hobby you love. I know I also want to hit on this, that sometimes when we get out of our hobbies, they've become almost like a challenge to get back into, or it feels like a task to get back into it. Again, sometimes that's the way that things work when you're not feeling your best. The things that you once loved don't become as loved. You got to practice it again and kind of give yourself that time. And the one I personally suck at, going to bed on time. That doesn't happen. May have fallen asleep on the couch at 10 last night and then went to bed at midnight, as we do. So it's hard. And we're kind of joking and laughing, and I want us to do that. But it really is going back to do we always feel like we deserve that self-care? And I think that's where we get kind of hung up a lot of times because of the burnout. It's that I just got to keep pushing through and get to this thing. Somehow zoomed in. Here we go. I didn't realize it was touchscreen. So one of the things I want us to kind of talk a little bit about is identifying today something you can do for yourself. Something that is small, that is aligned with your abilities, your values, the things that you are capable of doing. And I really want to emphasize that you are capable of doing. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I don't want this to be something that is a chore. And I don't want it to be something that is not feasible for you. You all know your schedules. So even if I have a 5-minute walk outside of meetings, if you look at me and say, that is genuinely not feasible because of black ice, I saw your parking lot. Marshall was just as bad, I know. Or I don't have a 5-minute break between meetings. Whatever works for you. Eating lunch away from the computer, making comments about, I just need time to think about it before you agree to a task. Or just even taking 2 minutes to take a breath before class. So what things do you think might be helpful for you as a brief little self-care plan? One thing that you could do next week that might feel like self-care for you. You guys can talk amongst yourselves. You can talk out loud to me. I don't care. But I want you to come away with one thing that you think you can do next week.
A lot of the time after work, I usually try to get a walk in of some variety, like half an hour to an hour, just like that generally just helps me. So maybe doing that at work a little bit might be helpful because I feel better after I do it after work. Stands to reason I'd probably feel a little bit better if I did it here at work as well.
I personally, for me, I'm a walker too, and that's a big help for me. Is I walk on campus.
Come visit the other side of the third floor.
I'll just join the moving walk.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go. I like
Might
it.
take you up on that.
So go for a walk in the middle of the day, or take a break at work. I like that one. Yeah. Mhm.
Take a deep breath and then move on. And sometimes,
Mhm.
and I'm like a to-do list maker, so that's sort of key.
Those things are fantastic, though, because like you said, it gets the things out of your head and on paper. And sometimes that can be fantastic because then it's, shut the book, put it away. I don't have to have those thoughts right now. Like you have your worry hour, essentially.
Yeah.
Do the things, step away. It's fantastic.
I could read my Kindle during lunch rather than answer emails.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like
could
it.
just take a 15-minute break and actually read.
I will own, I have the Kindle app on my phone. It is pulled up 24/7. That way I can do that.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic option. Any other thoughts from folks? It's okay if you don't. If you just have something mentally in your head that you can do next week, that's also cool.
I'd like to be able to say I need time to think about that before reading something. Because I do the same thing that your friend did, where it's like somebody kind of looks vaguely in their direction. It's like, well, this thing needs to get done. I'm like, that's gonna be me. I got it. I need to do that. I'll do that.
So hitting pause before saying yes to something.
Yeah.
And I mean, we coach our students of it's okay to say, that's a great question. Let me think about that for a minute. But we don't do that ourselves. We're not it is do as I say, not as I do. But taking that moment. There's lots of things you can do and lots of ways that you can engage in self-care. And it really can be taking the 15 minutes to read my book, going for a walk across campus, journaling. I have my phone preloaded all the time with a Starbucks gift card so that I could walk across campus. I'm basic. I like just plain coffee, but it's still nice to not have the coffee that's just in my office.
Nice to go in there too. It's a cute little Starbucks.
It is. It is. And Karen loves me and is super nice every time I walk in. She is still there.
Oh my God. Oh, she's a treasure.
She is. She's still there. She was having a bad day one night, so she's decided I'm her best friend because I smiled at her that one day, apparently. So she's a lovely human, but she is still the manager. Yeah.
Oh, that warms my heart.
She is still at Marshall. Some things never change. So I said that there's lots of ways to do self-care, and this is, again, I got to do the plug. I am a clinical psychologist by trade. I am a therapist by trade. I swear I'm not doing therapy on anybody in the room. That is my background. These are some things that, from my training, that I always like to plug and that can be really helpful to do. And they are relaxation strategies. And I like to talk about relaxation strategies because when we are stressed, it is physically impossible to be both relaxed and tense. Those two things just are physically not in line with each other. So relaxation techniques can be helpful depending on the various types of stress your body personally experiences. So if you are somebody who gets super tense, progressive muscle relaxation, which I will give you guys an example of and let you kind of practice for yourself, can be really helpful. Deep breathing, if you're somebody who carries that stress in your chest or feels like you get panicky, can be a really helpful way to calm down. Mindful meditations. Exercise, some folks love exercise and find it to be a really big stress reliever. And I really want to hit when I say exercise, I'm not saying go to the gym for an hour. It is take the 5-minute walk. Positive self-talk, we are awful at that. I hear that in this room. I hear you guys even beating yourselves up a little bit in this room of I don't do that thing. So we're noting that you are doing things and that you are doing good. You are here, you made it. You got the donut this morning. That's exciting. Trying to engage in a healthy lifestyle when you can. I think that in particular is very difficult, as Emma said, because we are often doing either very early in the morning classes or very late at night classes. And I'd imagine, especially for you guys, you have that strong range in a lot of night classes that you have to do. And that's not easy. It's hard to then go home and make dinner that feels healthy, go work out, make time for friends or family. It gets more challenging. Time management. That's hard. And also engage in the things that make you happy. Play the video game, read the book, meet up with your friends, whatever it is. But I said I would practice some of these. And so I am going to do a progressive muscle relaxation. I am going to own. I'm a good therapist, but I am not so good that I have these memorized. That is never going to happen.
It's okay. I tell my students, I'm like, I know I'm a teacher, but I need my notes.
100%. 100%. And this is what I encourage people. I will actually own. I'm going to read the script so that you guys can practice it, and I will tell you where you can find the script if you're interested in it. But if folks really find this and like this, I would actually encourage you to look it up on YouTube. That's actually what I would genuinely tell a client even, because then it is somebody reading it to you or walking you through it versus you having to try to read it and do the thing. So that's largely, honestly, I agree. I don't memorize these things for that reason. But I am going to read a progressive muscle relaxation script. This is just an exercise that reduces stress and anxiety in your body by having you slowly tense and relax your muscles. It can provide an immediate feeling of relaxation, but ultimately, it's a really good idea to practice it frequently if you find it useful. With experience, you'll become more aware of when you're experiencing tension, and it will give you the skills to help you relax more. During this exercise, each muscle should be tensed, but not to the point of straining. Furthermore, if you have any injuries or body parts that cause you pain, skip over that area if I note it. So again, for my runners in the room, if your legs are killing you, don't do that part when I get to it. That's okay. Ultimately, with all of this, pay special attention to the feeling of releasing the tension in each muscle and relaxing. So let's begin. Feel free to sit back in a comfortable position and shut your eyes if you're comfortable doing so. I want you to begin by taking a deep breath and noticing the feeling of air filling your lungs. Hold your breath for just a few seconds. Release the breath slowly and let the tension leave your body. Take in another deep breath and hold it. Again, slowly release the air. Even slower now, take in another breath. Fill your lungs and hold the air. Slowly release the breath and imagine the feeling of tension leaving your body. Now, Move your attention to your feet. Begin to tense your feet by curling your toes and the arch of your foot. Hold on to the tension and notice what it feels like. Release that tension in your foot. Notice the new feeling of relaxation. Next, begin to focus on your lower leg. Tense the muscles in your calves. Hold them tightly and pay attention to that feeling of tension. Release the tension from your lower legs. Again, notice the feeling of relaxation. Remember to continue to take deep breaths. Next, tense the muscles of your upper leg and pelvis. You can do this by tightly squeezing your thighs together. Make sure you feel tenseness without going to the point of strain. And release. Feel the tension leave your muscles. Now, begin to tense your stomach and chest. You can do this by sucking your stomach in, squeeze a little harder, and hold the tension. Hold it a little longer. Release that tension and allow your body to go limp. Let yourself notice the feeling of relaxation. Continue taking deep breaths. Breathe in slowly, noticing the air fill your lungs. Hold it for just a second. Release the air slowly. Feel it leaving your lungs. Next, tense the muscles in your back by bringing your shoulders back together behind you. Hold them tightly, tense them as hard as you can without straining, and keep holding. Slowly release that tension from your back. Feel the tension slowly leaving your body and the new feeling of relaxation. Notice how different your body feels when you allow it to relax. Tense your arms all the way from your hands to your shoulder. Make a fist and squeeze all the way up your arm. Hold on to that. Release the tension from your arms and shoulders. Notice the feeling of relaxation in your fingers, hands, arms, and shoulders. Notice how your arms feel limp and at ease. Move up to your neck and your head. Tense your face and your neck by distorting the muscles around your eyes and mouth. Now release that tension. Again, notice the new feeling of relaxation. Finally, tense your entire body. Tense your feet, legs, stomach, chest, arms, head, and neck. Tense harder without straining and hold the tension. Now release. Allow your whole body to go limp. Pay attention to the feeling of relaxation and how different it is from the feeling of tension. Begin to wake your body up by slowly moving your muscles. Adjust your arms and legs. Stretch your muscles and open your eyes whenever you're ready. How did that feel for folks who were doing it? One of the reasons I like doing this one, I will own, I am somebody who carries the tension when I get anxious. So I personally like this one. And I am not good with traditional mindfulness where it is let the thought go. I will show you guys how to do that one too, but I'm just not good at it. I also like that this is something you can modify. So I often tell students, do the shoulders before a test if they're anxious. Like you can do aspects of it without people noticing. Yes, if you were doing the facial one, people might notice.
Yeah, I was thinking, like, I can't imagine what all of our faces look like.
I was looking at my iPad. You were good.
Yeah, I know. I was too worried, but it's like, I can imagine we look really silly.
And that's the point. Like, so you can modify it though and just do your shoulders, your legs, your stomach. You could skip the facial one and get a piece of it and still maybe feel some benefit from it. Because we don't take that pause. And that ultimately took not even 10 minutes. So building in those small things can feel helpful as we go. Partially because it is, again, as I said, physically impossible to be both relaxed and tense at the same time. Relaxation and anxiety are kind of counterparts to each other. So this is one of the most commonly recommended ways to deal with stress is relaxation techniques. Ultimately, this is based on actual like psychological knowledge. So this is not just me saying, hey, scrunch your face up for the sake of scrunching your face up. There is a lot of research behind it. And ultimately, it's a new skill. It takes practice. So even if you felt like I didn't do it right, as we often tell ourselves with any new skill, it's okay. It's just part of a practicing. Mindfulness is another one that I would encourage people to practice if you find yourself liking it as you start it. Ultimately, we spend a lot of our time in our head, as one of our friends already kind of talked about. We dwell on things, or we ultimately try to predict what will come next. I'm personally really bad about that one. I'm a future caster. So ultimately, we don't stay in the moment. We don't think about what's happening right now. Mindfulness is really here to try to take you offline and focus on the here and now. So the things that are happening at present. It helps you realize any negative thoughts or feelings and realize that they are not going to last forever. They are transitory. And that they are not defining you. I often talk about the idea that when we have thoughts in our heads, we want to believe those thoughts, right? Like they come from us and we feel like they have to be true. Our thoughts lie to us a lot. They're not always true. So helping ourselves realize we are not defined by our thoughts. And we can be non-judgmentally aware of those thoughts. So accept the feelings for what they are. So it's the idea of being more mindful, so in the moment, as our four-legged friend is, versus our mind being full of all the clutter. So mindfulness is a great way to do that. So if you will, again, will bear with me and practice some. I do have some mindfulness techniques that I think can be really helpful. This one. So this is the butterfly body scan. These are actually really fantastic cards. If folks have ever shopped at Book Tenders up in Barbersville, this is where these came from. These are actually technically for kids. So these are for anybody, really. I particularly like this one in particular because it is the idea of how do we pay attention to our body and also get out of our heads. So again, for folks who want to participate, you're more than welcome. Please sit comfortably, again, with your eyes closed if you are comfortable. Breathe naturally, noticing how it feels to breathe in and out. Now, imagine a butterfly that's light as a feather. It can be any color you like, it can be multiple colors. Take a moment and picture that butterfly in your mind. Now, imagine your butterfly is hovering nearby. We're going to pretend that the magic butterfly rests on different parts of your body. And when it lands, that part of your body feels relaxed and pleasant. Let's start with our foreheads. Imagine your forehead's relaxed when the butterfly rests on it. Imagine the butterfly now moving from your forehead to one of your shoulders. Your shoulders relaxes while the butterfly rests on it. Imagine the butterfly moves from your shoulders down to your legs. It rests gently on your lap. Imagine your legs relaxing with it. Now, relax your whole body. Rest your body. Feel the natural rhythm of breathing. When you're ready, sit up slowly, reach your hands to the sky, take a deep breath, and lower your arms as you breathe out. You can open your eyes whenever you're ready. I'll own I'm a little biased. I tend to like the body ones a little bit more because I think, are really helpful. There are lots of ways that we can do mindfulness. Some of them are the more traditional mindful meditations that I know a lot of people really love, where it is counting your breaths. Focus and point of those is to often get you out of your head. So, for example, there's one called Leaves on a Stream. Has anybody ever heard of that? See some head nods. But that is the idea of you are imagining a stream in front of you. Leaves are passing by you. All the negative thoughts get put on those leaves. So the bad thoughts, the non-judgment or the judgmental thoughts. It helps you notice that the thoughts are there without interacting. They're just passing by in the stream. So a lot of mindfulness is related to that. It's trying to help you find a way to notice the thought without getting attached to the thought. So some people really like those as well. But again, it's the idea that it's trying to help us get out of our head, think a little bit more about what's happening in the moment, and being more present in the moment, or allowing our body to relax in the moment, which we don't always do. I wanted to leave time for you guys to also be able to kind of talk. People need to process any of the things we did. Or ultimately, we have more of these sessions coming up. So if there's anything specific that would be helpful in those sessions that people would like, I'm not married to anything. I'm more than happy to add things in or take, thoughts that people have into account as I plan these. I'm also a procrastinator by nature, so these are not fully planned or prepped yet. I may have emailed these slides to Morgan this morning, so, they were done, mostly. So any thoughts, any questions, anything I can help with? Be that from you guys or folks on Zoom.
Just thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, this was very nice.
Yep.
Feel free. My email address is up there. It's pretty easy. It is my last name, Black, and 114. So if anybody ever needs anything, feel free to reach out.
And if anybody wants to say anything in the chat, our panel is open. So if you want to drop anything, if you want to type anything, if you don't want to use your microphone, you can.
I also realized I have not had water today, so. Oh, you're very welcome.
Agreed.
Yeah, future sessions will be targeting compassion fatigue. So really hitting on that idea of we give a lot to our students, we give a lot to our universities, and that can be really difficult and draining. And how do you find the ability to continue to be compassionate and do the things when you don't always feel that way? And our friend burnout will wrap us up in April.
Appropriate timing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Agreed. April's rough.
You get a late spring break.
Still.
I know, same.
Like I said, I appreciate you guys. And if there's any other things you guys want for those sessions, feel free to reach out. Feel free to let Morgan know, let me know. More than happy to target what you guys need if I can.
Good.
But I had fun with you guys. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I'm going to take this off before I forget and walk away with it. Bad about that.